Hi, family. Today, I hope that we will be kind, forgiving, compassionate to ourselves, to our families, and the people around us. I also hope that we will grow spiritually, physically, mentally, emotionally, relationally, financially, and recreationally. Now, the message. Hi guys, how are we feeling? So it is freezing here in New York City. Outside is white. There, the blanket of snow is so high. Um, I don't think I've ever seen snow like this in New York City since I've been here. Maybe in Canada, but not in New York. Then it's still snowing. Anyway, life goes on. We're here another day, which means that there is something for us to do. Do not take our time lightly here. People are just falling. Time is precious. Okay. And we are back at the beginning of the book. The dream, a new journey, day one. This was January 2nd, 2014, 2 days after I landed in the bitter cold of Toronto, Canada. I woke up excited to begin my new journey. I took a shower, then checked the weather. See, when you're in these cold countries, check the weather. 1 minute, it's sunny, and the next minute it's snowing or raining. The weather just changed. You have ever heard that saying? You you change like English weather? Mm-hmm. Yes, it's not just England. It's all these cold countries. Okay? I learned this when I lived in England for a year, some time ago. You may have a mild and tolerable temperature 1 minute and freezing rain the next second. Now, I spoke about the temperature at this time. It was 15 degrees Fahrenheit. I shivered even though it was quite warm inside out. Just looking outside and seeing all that snow makes you shiver. My eagerness to start my new journey blocked out all fears of things I could not control. We cannot control the weather. I bundled up in 3 layers of clothes and put on warm hat and gloves with the furry interior, which my friend gave me when I landed. I got the number for a cab from my landlord and I called. He'll be there in 5 minutes, the polite lady on the phone said. 4 minutes later, I stepped out on the fluffy white lawn packed with several layers of snow from an early shower. In my knee-high, stylish leather boots. I don't know what I was prepared for. Those boots were not the right boots. Okay. Even though I live in New York City and I'm still not prepared for all this stuff. Okay. Um, so I spoke about my first day at the university, right? So this information is for those of us, and I'm talking those who have not started the journey yet and are preparing to take the journey of moving from a developing country to a developed country to study, especially if it's your first travel experience. You need to know. I mean, write down the questions. Ask the people you are in contact with at the school everything, no matter how stupid you feel the question is. Just ask them. You never know, you know. So I spoke about how I communicated with the department assistant. She was the only person except for my professor that I spoke to. I discourage this in particular for international students. Try to get all the information you can before embarking on this dream. Sometimes our desire to begin is so strong that we make assumptions and bypass facts. Plans fail due to the lack of counsel, but with many advisors, they succeed. Proverbs 15:22. Ask all the questions, even if they seem silly. Now, the thing about hmm, plan fail due to the lack of counsel. No, for me, I told you, like I see the dream and then I live it out, right? So for me, um, I didn't need counsel like that. Sometimes you have to know, and this is knowing, just knowing is a gift from God. I know. You just know. I tell people, you just know. They're like, no, but I realize it's a gift, and not everyone has this gift. Um, which is crazy. Like, I don't understand how people would do things without this gift. I didn't even realize it was a gift. But anyway, um, yeah, just knowing that this is the thing to do and do it. I don't need to be asking 50 million people what they think. I know and I do. I'm a dreamer and a doer. I don't just dream and put down my dreams on a shelf. I dream and I do. Yes. And there's a cutoff time, there's a cutoff time, but for a period, and then it comes back in another period. There we go. You may still have some gaps in your knowledge. Know you did your best, be gentle with yourself if plans fail, and try again if the desire persists. Not all the time when something is not, a dream is not coming to pass, mean it's a redirection. Sometimes it's just not the right time. Sometimes it's just not the right time. Many are the plans in a person's heart, but it's the Lord's purpose that prevails. Proverbs 19:21. For a PhD, I suggest talking to some past and present members. Past members, they will tell you the truth about, the experience since they're not there anymore. Yes. And present members to get a feel of the culture. I tried to contact people, but no one responded. I thank God. They turned out to be nice people to work with. For a job, try to get information from persons already working at the company or in the industry you want to work. Get as much information from various perspectives, analyze your data, understand the language of the industry, and prepare your application as such. So this is what I tell people. By the time I apply for a job, hello, um, it's more likely that I'm gonna get it because I do my research. I don't apply to 50, 100. Sometimes I look on LinkedIn, people be like, I applied to 150 jobs. If I apply to three and I don't get it, something is wrong somewhere. Um, and I have to look into it and then, strategize and come again, right? Which is why I post, so that they can come to me because we don't always know. We don't know what we carry. There is so much to us that we don't learn in a job or at school, in our regular lives. We have all these skills, all these strengths, natural abilities, experience, um, our personality. that people that may be needed that people don't know because we can't put that on some of the resumes, these one-page resumes, right? So put yourself out there, talk to some people. Like the other day, I went into a small business place that I want to help them because I went there and I was talking to the manager. And she was just going on and all the problems she was having. And you just let them talk. And then you pick up stuff from when they're talking. And then you come back with a proposal. Because they're going to tell you their problems. I'm a problem solver. And I'm going to come back with some solutions. So I went back and I was saying, okay, remember we spoke the other day, I'm a business consultant. Whatnot. And she's like, we don't think we need that here. I said, well, I spoke to you and you were going on and on with your problem, and I have some solutions for you. She's like, well, she's hesitant. And I said one thing to her and she turned back. She said, well, is your number in, I gave her my book. And she said, is your number in the book? I said, yes. She said, okay. Because I said one thing to her, which was a solution to her problem. You see, when you're, and this is is it a gift? I don't know. You listen to when people talk. They're gonna tell you their problems. Even if they don't tell you explicitly, you hear exactly what the problem is. And so, yeah, talk to people, listen for what's going on, well, I did talk to some people before I went, and even when I got there, but I had no idea what I was in for this PhD. I had no idea. Um, but God was with me, and basically what happened was that I was in a lab with very few people, new people as well, um, no postdoc. Um, And my professor was hardly ever there. So we had to do things pretty much on our own. And looking back in my life, that's how my life has been. Very little supervision since I started working in my 20s. Very little supervision, but I get the work done. Not because I'm so bright, but because God is with me. Okay? That's how I get the job done. All right. Through prayer and fasting, seeking for direction, seeking for answers, solutions, and give me what I need so that I can get the work done. All right. So do not underestimate or gifts or natural talents and abilities or experience, especially as mothers. Stay-at-home mothers like to say, "Oh, I am just a stay-at-home mother." Mm-mm. Stay-at-home mothers they have discernment, the gifts that stay-at-home mothers have. Don't just say you are just a stay-at-home mother. And everybody have a different experience. You can all write books. I don't know why people are afraid to put their knowledge out there. We're looking for applause and all these things. You got to know in yourself, you have been using these methods, these whatever you're doing, and it's been working for you. You write it from that perspective. You have knowledge to share. Share your knowledge because somebody If it's even one person, it may be one person now, it may be a generation later because that one person passed it down. You never know. What this is telling me now that I'm here is that here I am again. New dream, new dream. Same things are happening. Same things are happening over and over in my life. England, Canada, America, over and over again. Pay attention to your life. Look at the patterns. Look at the patterns in your life. Things are not just happening. That is the word for today. Pray and ask the Lord, which dream? And if you have many, like myself, which dream are we about to fulfill? And ask Him for direction, protection, and do it. Be obedient, humble, humble yourself, submit to God, resist the devil, and he will flee. Have a good day.